Let's go over some tips with your beachfront baby carriers. Let's start with a way to get your everyday buckle midi on in a back carry without messing up your shirt. To do this, you're going to put it on with the buckle in front and the panel in the back. You can decide which side you want your baby to go in on, and you're going to put the opposite shoulder strap up into place a little bit, and you can just tuck it into your waistband to keep it in place. If you want to get your other one up off the ground so there's not a tripping hazard, you could just tuck that loosely into your waistband as well. Then you have a nice space for baby's leg to slide in. When you're holding them, you're going to bring an arm around and swing them onto your back. This is something that is a little easier to do quickly, but it is a controlled movement. You will have your hand on baby or toddler the entire time. Their leg is going to slide through that opening, and then you will pull the opposite side up, keeping one hand on baby until you have your hands on both of those tails or pieces of fabric in front of you. Now that both are up and he is safe, I'm going to grab one with each hand and really lift straight up and back. That helps to raise that panel up to a safe position. Now there are a bunch of different ways that you could finish this. I'm just going to go over 2 quick methods. I'm going to pull it straight back and cross it under baby's bottom. If you can reach, you could slightly push those passes up over baby's bottom, but it's not necessary. The other option is to fan it over baby's back and under one leg, and this creates a little bit more supportive carry. If your baby or toddler is sensitive to pressure, it can also make it a little bit more comfortable for them. When doing this, you'll want to secure the fabric you are not working with between your knees. You might find that you use one when you're trying to quickly carry your little one and you know they're not going to be up for a long period, and the other when they are going to be up for a longer period. There are a lot of different methods to finishing your carry. A flat reef knot is one of the most secure. You're going to take your 2 pieces, put one under, and then it is going to go through the little hole that you've created between your body, and then that same piece is going to go under again and then back over through that hole. Once you have it completed, it should look like this, and it sits nice and flat to your body. When you're getting baby down, you will start by loosening that knot. You may find that it helps to tuck that fabric into your knees so that you can grab the fabric closest to your arms. Once you have that fabric, you're going to secure it into one hand. I like to use this hold to keep it nice and secure. You'll go ahead and shift the carrier over to your hip, keeping pressure on those 2 pieces until your little one is in front of you. Next, some tips with a ring sling. Sometimes threading that ring sling is the trickiest part. One thing that you might consider trying is just putting it on like a D-ring belt. Threading or putting together a ring sling is done in the exact same way. Doing this step as if you're putting on a belt can just help to kind of visualize what you need to do. Then when you put it on, you can either do it over your shoulder or you could just do it in front of you. I'm going to show putting it on here. After you have that ring sling put together, you do want to walk through just to make sure that that fabric isn't bunched up at all. Lifting the rings in the center is going to loosen the entire thing, and you'll want to have it loosened to about where your baby or toddler's bottom will be. When you place them in, it can help to create a nice deep seat by having that fabric under both knees and allowing them to sit back. Then when you raise that fabric up over their back, they have a better seat created already. If you find that you need a little more slack, you can go ahead and loosen the rings and then pull that fabric up under baby's bottom and up towards their belly button before tightening. When you go through and tighten, it can really help to do this by section. Here you see tightening that top section. As you're getting everything tightened, make sure that you keep that fabric capped over your shoulder to ensure it's a little more comfortable. If you're nursing an older baby or toddler, usually you can just lower them into place. After you lift it up on those ring slings, you can get your little one into position and go ahead and nurse. You may find that it's easiest to get the ring sling looser than needed and then go back through and tighten after you've latched them on. It can be really helpful to gather that fabric and pull it around your little one and up towards the rings to tighten. And then just ensure that anytime you're done nursing or your little one falls asleep, that you tighten them back up into position. These are a 2-way stretchy, which means it just stretches this way. This is something good to know for when you're creating the size that you'll want for your little one. To ensure that's most comfortable for you, just ensure that those top rails are communicating with each other. That just means when you pull on the top, it is moving at the top of your shoulder as well. The next step is sizing. You'll want to get a general idea of where your little one's bottom is going to end up, and about there is where you're going to cross those passes in front of you and tie in the back. After you have it secured, you can go ahead and just do a visual check in the front and see exactly where your little one's going to end up. I am doing a toddler, so it's going to be a little bit lower here. You will then grab your little one and you're going to go ahead and place them in the vertical pass that is on the underside first and then the top second. You can just put both of those passes so they are under the knees to create that seat. And then you will start with that first pass and spread it from one knee to the other. Depending on how big your little one is, you may find that you can't quite reach from knee to knee, but you're going to want to try and spread that as far as you can. This gives them the most support and also makes it more comfortable for you. As you're getting that fabric spread out, make sure you keep an arm on your little one. When they are older, you can have arms out, but you still want that fabric spread under the armpit on both sides. The last step is getting that third pass up, and you're going to go ahead and pull those legs down through it and then pull it from under the bottom up to either the armpits or the base of the neck, depending on if your little one has their arms out or not. Here I'm switching to arms in, which means those passes are going to go further across baby's or toddler's back. You can then go through and adjust if you need to create a little better seat. If you have a really little one, you would go ahead and tighten up and then cross up a bit higher. Here I am crossing it up high where baby's bottom would be. This is about what you would expect for a newborn size baby. Once you have them in your hands, you're going to go ahead and put them in the same way. With a little one, you'll more easily be able to spread those passes from knee to knee. Something that can be really helpful when spreading those passes to get the most coverage is to take that entire piece of fabric, put it in the middle of baby's body, and then go ahead and spread it from each side, as you can see done here. This helps to ensure that they're getting support from knee to knee, but also up higher on their back. When you do that third pass, again, just make sure that you get it from the bottom up to the nape of the neck. With a newborn size baby, you're always going to want that up to the nape of the neck. Then you could go ahead and grab those calves and gently push up, which gets them into a better seated position. When taking the wrap off, it can help to slowly pull each to the side without twisting it up. This can just make it easier to get your little one back in once you're done. Those are a few different tips for all of your different beachfront baby wraps, slings, and carriers. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll try to get to them as quick as I can.